Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you teach me how to dance the skank? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I could super teach you.
But I feel like I need to learn.
Dude, ska music is alive and well, my friend. Let me tell you. Oh, man, we're going to get into all that shortly. Yeah. But first, this is episode 28 of the Drum Brigade podcast. I am your host, Corey Kingston.
Yes.
Across from me, turning knobs, producing the show, making it happen, co-hosting this bad boy is the one, the only, fantastic Philadelphia Funky Phil Pardell. Funky Phil, what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's episode 28, buddy. Woo. You're speechless. You're speechless.
That's a lot of episodes.
Dude.
We're practically the Mike and Mike podcast.
We're basically owning the internet right now. We're basically owning it. Dude, we are coming in hot. We're tired. We're coming in hot. I'm coming in from Vegas, straight from Vegas. You're coming in from Mammoth. We both had out-of-town dates. Man, we're just doing it, Phil. We're just freaking doing it.
Heck yeah.
Like Davey said.
You're a legend.
We got some new clips. Check this one out.
This is why you're a true drummer, Corey.
It's true. I got to fix the volume levels on, though.
You're a legend. You're a legend.
That's
yeah. Davey, our guest from last week. That was dope. So, yeah, we got this show, this little thing called Drum Brigade. We recorded it in the Beat Locker in beautiful San Diego. We're back in action in my Beat Locker because my floor is now installed. We had a flood last week. We're back in action, though. We're here. We got a great guest this week. The great, the funny, the amazing Timbo from Kino. Oh, yeah, he's coming on. He'll be on shortly. I'm stoked on that one. It's going to be dope.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about the Drum Brigade podcast. First of all, you can get this podcast on all of the platforms. You can listen to this show on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and YouTube, and drumbrigade.com. We're working on the web show. We are like weeks, possibly months, possibly weeks away from having a spot, I believe. I'm putting it out there in the universe onto the interwebs. We're going to get a place, Funky Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a place. We're going to share it with some other dudes. We're going to have all kinds of things going there. Lessons are going to start up again. It's going to be magical. So I really want this to happen. Guys, give us your positive energy to make this happen so we can have this web show. So subscribe to all of our things, our iTunes and our Stitcher and our Spotify and YouTube and all that stuff to get all things Drum Brigade. And then, of course, listen, download all that stuff on drumbrigade.com. You and I personally, Funky Phil, have personal websites.
It is true.
Personal YouTube pages and personal social media.
Yeah,
so
we internet pretty hard.
Yeah, so we have a lot to take care of. That's why we rarely post anything, but we should work on that. So you guys got to hit subscribe on all of the above. Drum Brigade likes stuff first, and then follow Funky Phil and I. If you want to look up Funky Phil, www.philpardell.com. You want to look up my stuff, CoreyKingston.com. Funky Phil has lessons, play-alongs, some beautiful pictures of himself playing drums, all kinds of stuff. And on his YouTube, he has product reviews. He has lessons, play-alongs, sheet music, all that stuff you can find on Funky Phil's website. On my website and on my YouTube page, you can find a vlog that I do called A Day in the Life of a Drummer. A lot of tour dates and stuff like that. You can follow me around. I got to edit a new one from my weekend this weekend. A lot of stuff to edit for that. But yeah, so you guys can just see what we do on a daily. I also have some lesson videos and some sheet music and all that stuff on the Drum Brigade website. So check it out. It's going to be dope if you do. And hit the subscribe button. Drum Brigade. Drum Brigade is a community. It's a family. It's a place for drummers, drum enthusiasts, future drummers, and people who are just plain into music and culture to be among like-minded individuals. Drum Brigade is a way to support each other as fellow drummers, but also a means to push each other to excel and expand horizons in a spirit of camaraderie rather than negative competition. Phil is doing the camaraderie dance.
Yeah.
I hate negative competition. Beat it with that.
Yeah.
We're all drummers. Drum Brigade has products. We have t-shirts, sticks, stickers, as well as some educational tools, lessons, private lessons, lesson videos. We also can do Skype lessons and FaceTime lessons and all that jazz. We have sheet music. We also do sheds and community events, live broadcasts, all that stuff. We're here for you. That's all I can say. We're here for you. We're here for our community. The Drum Brigade is the brotherhood of drums. Yes. Are you part of the brigade, Funky Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get into it, I also have something else to say. We're having a contest right now. You people aren't even ready for all the stuff that we have coming at you. Mm-hmm. So far, we have Drum Brigade on board. We have Haram on board. We have Aquarian on board. We have Brixton on board. We have Big Bang on board. Who else am I missing? We have Haram on board. Did I say Haram already?
You did.
We got Haram twice because they're giving us so much stuff. Dude, we got so much stuff coming to you guys for this contest. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We might just keep it all. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Did you say Booty Shakers?
Booty Shakers is coming on board. Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of companies just giving us stuff to give to you. I mean, like, it's dope. These are all companies that Phil and I support and love and endorse. And we're sharing. We're sharing. Sharing is caring. So the deal is, all you got to do is leave us a review. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you want to win, you have to leave your handle, your at whatever, Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. So we can get in touch with you and be like, hey, you won a gift package from Haram. And you're going to be so stoked on it. So all you have to do is leave us a good review on our iTunes. Tell us you like the show. Listen to the show. Be like, this is what I like about it. Leave a review. Bam, you win something. Possibly. Leave your at handle. Leave your at handle, and we can find you and get you something good. All right? Drum Brigade contest. Just leave us a review. All these wonderful companies are coming on board and helping us out. We are super stoked on all of them. Thank you guys very much. Funky Phil, you ready to get into it?
Heck yeah.
You're a legend.
Oh, Funky Phil.
Yeah.
Man. It's been a crazy weekend. Crazy week for me. How about you?
Yeah, we both went out of town this weekend.
Yeah. Went
a lot
hard.
of time driving.
Yeah.
How was your Vegas trip?
Whew. Man, it was so fun.
Your scooter made it the whole way.
Yes.
Your
The trailer hitch.
Your rig worked.
Okay, I got a lot to say about this trip, man.
Oh, boy.
Not in a bad way. This was not a soapbox trip. This was a wonderful, amazing. I had so much fun, dude. So
awesome.
much fun. It was way more awesome than I thought.
Whoa.
I mean,
you were anticipating a substantial quantity of awesome.
Yeah. This was like, I was super excited to go, but there's been many a time that I've left Vegas like with regrets. Like, man, just spent too much money, I drank too much, I feel sick. This wasn't like that. I left like, bro, I can't wait to go next year, whether I'm playing or not, I'm going. It was so fun, man. So it's just like, I guess the reason why it was so fun is because it's like right up my alley. This was like, if you're into ska and you're a nerd like me, this is your event, dude.
This was like Comic-Con for genres.
Yes. It was vintage, like Vespa scooters. It was like super skas you can get. People dressed up like in suits and...
Was there a lot of checkerboard
It was a lot of Checkers. It was a lot of vintage clothes. It was a lot of like vintage stuff. It was a lot of great music, like a lot of reggae and ska being played, a lot of the Northern soul and like all this like gritty, like rock soul stuff, Brit stuff. And man, it was so dope. It was so dope. It was in the old part of like downtown Las Vegas.
Okay.
So it wasn't on the main strip. And that has like a vintage feel
it was
too.
like the old main strip?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And like the hotel was super nice. It was like pretty affordable.
You stay in the Trump Hotel?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't stay there. I don't think I was driving by there and I was like, I don't think I would ever stay there, even if it was like free. I would be like, nah. I'm like, I don't see anybody staying there except for like people that support that guy.
Yeah. But anyway, back to ska.
And yeah, it was dope. So, dude, the drive up there. So I left Thursday.
Nice.
Booked an extra hotel Thursday. Shouldn't have done that.
No. Pricey?
No, it was pretty cheap, but I was trying to get up there Thursday so I can do a ride with the group, a scooter ride with the group to the Las Vegas sign. By the time I left, I was planning on leaving at 11:30 or noon. By the time I left, it was like almost 5 p.m.
Ooh.
And it was
That's
raining
late.
all day. It was raining all day out here.
Wait, you left San Diego at 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
How long's the drive to Vegas? Like 4 hours?
4 hours, 5 hours, supposed to be.
Oh.
Okay, so I hitch everything up, load everything up, get the heck out of here. And then as soon as I get to like the 15 freeway, it starts pouring down rain, dude. Like hailing.
Oh boy.
Pouring. It was such a mess, dude. So I'm like, okay, it shows that I'm going to get there at about 9. So I missed the ride. So I'm just going to get up there early and just hang out. And I start driving. I'm getting nervous because it says that it's snowing like on the Cajon Pass. I'm like, So I had chains with me, but I have this janky like trailer hitch bike carrier on too that I'm like kind of stressing out on. I'm kind of breaking a little bit of rules here.
Oh.
It's I explained this on like 2 episodes ago, but it's a class 1 hitch receiver. That's what bolts to your car. But the trailer thing that I have is like a class 2 or 3.
For your scooter.
Yeah. And so it says that the weight is supposed to be like 200 pounds, but my scooter alone is like 250 or 40 or something.
Ooh.
And then like the hitch is probably another 25, 30, 40 pounds. And then all the stuff that you put on it, it's probably a good 250, 275.
Oh, man.
So I'm like,
that's crazy. So that's how it works. I guess it's the total weight of including the hitch. I mean the whatever.
I mean, I guess I kind of MacGyvered this thing a little bit. So basically, what it is like it's an inch and a quarter receiver, but then the trailer hitch thing that carries your bike is 2 inches. So you have to get like an adapter for it. Oh. So I did like tons of searching on the internet and found a class 1, class 2 receiver adapter thing.
Nice.
And I ordered it immediately and it worked. And it raises up your bike a little bit so that it's not dragging so much. And it worked. But dude, I got all the way there and I was just like, I was stressing. Like when the freeway gets bumpy, it's a little stressful. Anyways, that wasn't even the most stressful part. So I get up to Cajon Pass. There's snow like on the sides a little bit. It's cold out, but no problem. Got up the mountain like really easily. Start driving. I'm almost to Prim, which is like state line. And then it's saying on the Waze app that the 15 is closed up ahead. So you have to take a detour.
From an accident or something?
I found out that there was like 2 or 3 inches of ice on the freeway that they had to like plow off. And there was like a huge accident. So I'm seeing signs, 15 freeway closed, use alternate route. I'm like, huh.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm like, well, I'll just keep going and see what happens. At this point, I'm a good 5 hours into the drive because it took way more because of traffic and all this stuff. And the rain was crazy through Temecula, crazy. I get to this place to like where the freeway is closed and it routes me off the freeway. I turn right and it's like you just drive for like 38 miles straight into the desert, into like Death Valley or whatever it is, straight.
Whoa.
I'm like not turning at all. I'm just going straight into the middle of the desert for miles and miles and miles and miles. And then it's like, I get there like 40 minutes later, and it's like, okay, cool, turn left and then drive another like 40 miles this way.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, now at this point, my phone has no signal. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Now my gas is like, I was good when I started, but now my gas is like going down to like a quarter of a tank. And I'm like,
getting nervous.
How long am I going to be on this road? Because now I'm just like 70 miles out of the way. It starts dumping snow. Like it's pure snow, dude. I'm driving in snow. And my trailer hitch is like dragging on the snow. I'm the only car on the road. Like there is no one around.
Everyone else was like, I'm not going over there.
Dude, I'm the only car on, like maybe every 30 minutes I would see a car go the other way. And I'm just like, I'm panicking a little bit because it's like, it went from like, oh, how nice, there's snow, to like, dude, I'm kind of slipping and sliding. Like there was a railroad crossing and I had to like put my brakes on because my trailer hitch, I don't want it to drag. My car straight slid, dude. I was slipping and I was in pure snow.
What?
And I was just like, oh God, dude, I'm like, I'm having like anxiety. Like I'm really scared. And, it got to where it was like, okay, now you're on this road. Now you got to turn left again and you're going to be on that road for 15 miles. And I would turn left. And then if I was coming the other way and turning right, that road is blocked. Like it's closed. So I'm basically on a closed road. It's just a detour for people that want to avoid the traffic. So I'm like, this road isn't even open. I'm on the world's smallest car with a trailer hitch on the back with a scooter. Like it's snowing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And like,
Wait, were you by yourself?
All alone, by myself.
Man.
Not only by myself, but like I said, there's no one around on this road.
That's nerve-wracking.
And like, I have no signal. So I'm like, if I spin out, I'm stuck. Like, I'm like, okay, I keep telling myself I have plenty of water. I have food. I have warm clothes. I have snow clothes. I have chains. I have everything I need. I'm not going to die. But I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere in like freezing weather, snowing,
out of gas,
and I have no signal to call AAA.
Oh, that sucks.
So anyways, dude, I made it back to the 15, and then the freeway was just a parking lot. There was like a diesel like crashed and whatever. So it took me 8 hours to get to Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
I got there at like 1 a.m. It was like 12:30 at night, and I was like a wet noodle, dude. I just freaking grabbed a beer and like grabbed a drink, and I went to they had like a DJ night spinning like old records and stuff, and went and hung out for a little bit and felt calmed down. And then the next day was another day, and it was awesome.
Do they have a hot tub?
No, I didn't really like my first room. It was a little, it was in the old part of Vegas, and it was a little sketchy. I didn't really care for it that much. So yeah. And then after that, dude, it was just like the next day I went on a ride with the group, and it was like all the hassle of bringing my bike up there and everything was like, it went away. It was like, it was completely worth it after that. It was so much fun. So much fun. We went to this like vintage pinball museum, and everybody's playing video games, and oh man, it was so fun. And then that night we played super, super duper, super ska.
Nice.
Everybody was just like dressed up like to fit the part, and the band was great. And
what band was it?
It's called Rude Boys Out of Jail, which
Okay.
is like it's a special song, and it's a tribute to all the like 70s, 80s two-tone label bands. Every band that was on two-tone basically that did this Dance Craze album. That was like my first ska record. It's called Dance Craze. It was like just a bunch of live stuff from all the two-tone bands. So it was a tribute to that. So it's basically like a novelty band, like the Kiss novelty bands, and like Led Zeppelin and like all those
So it's
bands.
like a tribute.
It's a tribute novelty band. So
Okay.
every singer that was leaders of those bands, the band is the same, but we rotate singers. And so each singer is a character, and they mostly look like it's so good that like the first time we did this rally, like probably 7 years ago, some people thought that we actually had the real singers. Like that's cool. How crazy it was. And so this time it was like our reunion. We haven't been back since. We kind of broke up after that, and it was good, man. We had 2 rehearsals and went and did it. 2 of the singers are from out of town, and we came out and killed it, man. It was really good. The next day I just went on this mountain ride. It was actually absolutely freezing cold, freezing, snow on the ground. Thought my hands were going to fall off. They were so cold. But it was just it was totally fun, man. So fun. Went to a tiki bar, went to like a club to see some bands like after that. One of the funnest trips I've ever had. It was so much fun. I can't say that enough.
That's awesome.
And then drove home and my trailer hitch did fine. Like no problems whatsoever. None. It was just like completely worked the way it was supposed to.
Woo.
So made it safe.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was my trip to Vegas. Oh, I do have one more thing to say about Vegas.
Huh.
Okay, so this is like the opposite of soapbox. This is like a bizarro soapbox. Something happened to me out there. Okay, so when you walk the old strip of Vegas, there's like a lot of not vendors, but like busking, you know? Like there's a family that it's like a dad and his 3 little kid sons that have like a busking section and on that main strip. Mm-hmm. They're drummers.
Sweet. And
they set up a full drum set, and then this dad and his oldest son is probably like 7. And then it looks like 7, like 5, and like 4. They are pure gospel chops, dude. Pure gospel chops. Even the little kids are really? Pure gospel chops. I got some footage of them there. It's so dope. Okay, so I saw them. I was wheeling my stuff to my gig the first night, and I saw them setting up, and then I saw the little kid playing. I'm like, this little boy is like really dope. He can play, and he's like, it's just pure gospel chops. But I love that the dad is just smiling, and he's pushing his sons, like he's putting his sons in the right direction, and they're good. They all can play. And then the dad, I didn't see the dad play, but the until the next night, the dad can play, dude. He's another, like, I don't know, another one of the guys. He could easily be like a Eric Moore or something. Like he's crazy. Super technical and flipping his sticks all over and just like a showman. Really great.
Probably make some good money,
dude. I saw their bucket. I saw their bucket. Like they opened it up after. It was full of money, dude. They're cleaning up.
That's awesome.
It's a great concept. I think it's the Simmons family, Simmons with a Z. If you look it up on YouTube, I believe that's what it is. Okay, so the first night I walk up, I have my snare and my cymbals and everything on a cart, and I stop to see them, and then he like waves at me, and he's like pointing to his sons, like, "See, there's another drummer." And I like waved to the little kids, and that was it. And then I left for my gig, and then the next night I see them setting up again, and I'm watching them play, and I'm just like, dude, they put on a show. They just keep swapping out. The dad will like just kill it, and then the kids will kill it. So I'm like, dude, I want to do something. I don't want to just throw $1 in there. Like, I want to do something for them. So I go back to my car. I'm like, I'm going to just like give these guys all some Drum Brigade drumsticks and some stickers. So I only have like 3 pairs of brand new sticks in my bag. So I just like grabbed all those, grabbed a stack of stickers. I'm looking for stickers in my bag. And this is a weird situation because it's like, I wanted to do something nice from my heart, you know? And I felt like I was immediately rewarded for that. Okay, so like a few months ago, I lost my hard drive. I thought it got stolen, and I never got another hard drive. I dig in my stick bag for stickers. Bam, there's my hard drive.
Yes.
Dude. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my hard drive. So I got my hard drive back, and now I'm like, okay, no, now I have to give these guys some stuff. Because I was like, I don't know, man. Should I really be giving this stuff away? Like, I feel like I shouldn't be giving it away. Everybody expects stuff for free, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I really like what this dad is doing for his kids, and like, these kids are into it. You can tell. So, dude, I walk up to these guys. I watch them play their whole set, and then they finish. And I go up to the dad. I'm like, hey, man, I just love what you're doing with your kids. I think it's so great. And he's like, hey, you were here last night, right? You're a drummer? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, man, that's cool. Thank you so much for watching us. I said, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I wanted to give you guys some drumsticks. Can I give the boys some sticks? And he's like, boys, like they were so stoked. So I just like go here. I go, who's the youngest? And he's like, this little guy. He has like no teeth. Like his front teeth are missing.
Oh, man.
And I hand them all drumsticks, hand them all stickers, and they're like, dude, these kids' face. They were so funny, dude. They were just like so stoked on the Drum Brigade sticks.
Yes.
The oldest one is like looking at him, and he's just like, oh man, I'm gonna hold on to these. Like he's like, oh man, I ain't even gonna open them. And I'm like, I gave them all stickers. I'm like, here's your stickers, here. And they like put them on their shirts, and the littlest one, he's like 4 with no teeth. He's like, they got words on them? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh man. He's like, they like love them, dude. They loved them. He's like, they got words on them?
That's our new slogan. Drum Brigade sticks. They got words on them.
And so I was talking to these little kids, man. I'm like, they're like, are you on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, but I can't play like you, and so I'm like, well, who's your favorite drummer? And then they're like, guess. And so I'm like, I went through like all the like drummers. So the 7-year-old was like, I'm like, Eric Moore. He's like, nope. And I'm like, Ron Bruner. He's like, nope. I'm like, I know. Thomas Pridgeon. He's like, nope. And I'm like,
Chambers.
I'm like, Gerald Hayward. And he's like, yep. And I'm like,
nice.
oh, that's what's up. And then the little one, I was like, I think his was like, the middle one was like, I think Thomas Pridgeon. And the little one, I go, who's your favorite drummer? And he's like, guess. He wouldn't like let me tell. He wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, I know. And I'm like, Dennis Chambers. He's like, yeah, with his like no like missing teeth. It was so funny. I took a picture with him and
That's
dude,
so cool.
That was so cool. That was like so worth the giveaway, because they were so stoked. And I'm like, hey, tell your dad to send me an email. I'm going to send you guys some t-shirts. All right. And they're like, oh, like mouth open, like, Dad. They run up to their dad. They're like, tell my dad what you said. I'm like, no, you got to tell him, It was just like so funny. But dude, these kids can play, man. They deserve, like they had a crowd around them. They deserve a lot, man. It was really dope. So
that's so rad.
Yeah. And then like, dude, I found my hard drive. It's like crazy. So that was like a big highlight for me, like just to see these kids play, and their dad was like super crazy. Like it'd be dope to have them on and talk about what they do. They're like really cool, man.
Yeah.
And I go, you guys play in church, huh? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, I go, so do you guys play here every day? And they're like, we're going to be here tomorrow after we go to church, and they're like, so you could tell they all play at church. They all like, they're just great drummers, man. Really good. Solid. It's weird. These little kids have a concept of like they were playing Latin grooves. They were doing like their solos like made sense. That like the oldest one had rudiments, like crazy rudiments, dude. Like I'm like, how does he's like 7 years old and he's playing all this like complicated stuff both ways, like ambidextrous, like their solos completely made sense and went somewhere. It wasn't just like a little kid like playing. It was crazy, man.
Dude, it's bonkers like how much kids can absorb.
Yeah.
Like and how quickly.
Yeah.
If they get bit by the bug when they're that young and they really dig in, it's just like ridiculous how much progress they can make.
There was one guy that was like standing there and he's like, all they do is watch drum videos all day. They live and breathe drums. That's all. He's like, dude, all they do, like a lot of kids like are into this and into that, video games, whatever. He's like, all they do is go on YouTube and watch drummers play. I'm like, dude, that's crazy, man. They're little guys too. They're so cute, man. They're just nicest kids ever. So that was my Vegas trip, man. How was Mammoth?
Mammoth was super fun, man. Yeah, we got in the Cassie B Project van. They got a sick one of those like Mercedes Sprinter vans with a whole crew of people, and just
that's the best way.
It was awesome. Just cruised on up there. We got hotel rooms, and we're playing this pretty small place. It's like a bar kitchen, like a restaurant bar. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like a paid vacation.
Yeah,
like
that's the same way for me.
You go up and play. We played 2 nights in a row and just hang out. Got to go up the mountain and It was cold though, man.
Yeah.
It was like, I think by the end of our first night, it was -1.
Oh my gosh, it was way colder than where I was at.
Yeah, I mean, it would warm up a little. It would get to like 28 maybe in the daytime, but we weren't spending that much time outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a super fun trip.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the best way to go, man. Like when you're all in a van together and like, you know, it's like a family vacation, but with your band.
Yeah. Yeah, it was super cool.
That's cool, man. So, other than that,
sorry to interrupt. I brought a Corey set up. I brought my 10 and my 14 toms,
nice.
which I don't usually do.
Oh yeah, I love that setup.
It was really fun.
I do that most of the time, but I've gotten used to like 12, 14. I really like that sound.
Yeah.
And then 12, 16 is a little bit too big for me unless I'm doing like a rock gig. Like with Tigros, I use a 12, 16.
I really like 12-16.
Yeah, it's not versatile enough for me. I like I guess ideally is like 10, 12, 14 for me, but I don't like bringing an extra stand and an extra tom. Yeah. It's too much of a setup for me. That's how lazy I am, dude. So yeah. Other than that, like just had like a normal week, normal gigs. I just couldn't get out of here quick enough. I just wanted to get out of here and go to Vegas. I was so excited about it. So, yeah, my normal gigs this week were just what they were, just normal and fun. I do have a soapbox. We'll get into that in a minute. Or maybe we'll get into it when we have our guest on. So, shall we do that?
Yeah, let's get Timbo up on here.
Let's get Timbo on. Oh, yeah, let's do this.
Drum Brigade.
Oh, man. It is that time, Funky Phil.
Yes.
We got a special guest on the line.
Very special.
Dude, this guy...
You're a legend.
Dude, one of the funniest dudes on the internet, one of the dopest drummers, just a good dude, man. You're like, you don't even know, but you're one of us, man. You're like so brigade worthy, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but
that's a real word. That's a real word right there. I mean, listen. I did an interview at NAMM. I am officially on. If there were ever some sort of official, I've been hazed. All right, let's be real.
Yeah. Online with us is Timbo from Keno. Tim, is it Baltes or Baltes?
Baltes. Ball, like bouncy, kiss, like a tisket and a tasket.
Dude. Yes, Tim, thanks for coming on with us, man. We're so stoked to have you on. Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
I love the sound effects. This is incredible.
Dude.
This is so much more professional than any other phone conversation.
That's what we like to hear, man. This is why we like to hear it. We try to put our best foot forward, man.
I love it. Yeah, well, dude, I'm out here and I've been out in Portland for a month.
Dope.
Quit my job like I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago now, and drove out to NAMM. That's where we finally connected in the flesh, which was so cool.
Right.
Got to do that silly interview of you and our mutual friend Matt Smith, which is super rad.
That was the best interview of the weekend, by the way. I was like, I don't even have to do anything. You're interviewing me. It's great.
That was so fun, dude. Yeah, so we did that, and then after NAMM, I wound up driving the coast up to Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
And I've basically been spending the majority of the time's been there.
Yeah.
So I was invited, after I quit my job, I was going to come up to Portland to simply attend the Revival Drum Shop 10th anniversary show. Because it was going to be crazy. Like Mark Juliana is going to played, and Matt Chamberlain.
Jeez.
And it hadn't been announced, but the special guest was going to be Fred Armisen. And I was just like, this is going to be so cool. And then I got a phone call from Jose, who owns the shop, and he's like, yeah, I talked to the guys, and we all want you to play too. And in my head, I'm like, oh God. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And, but I said yes, and peed my pants a little bit because I was scared, and I wrote a speech.
Nice.
And, just something on community, because I think something that I'm focusing on now is people know me as the silly guy. You know, like I dress up as a grandma or...
we posted that today.
Right. Yeah, so like there's that, or like I'll get a goofy costume and, for whatever holiday and do karaoke. But like there's this other side that I think that's more important, which is like, instead of being Timbo, being me.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to put some of that out there with the blog stuff I've been doing, and I did that with the speech, and I'm going to be doing that with kind of I've got this kind of crazy it's really crazy idea that I'm going to do moving forward.
Oh man, I can't wait. That's the beauty of you though, dude, is like you rope everybody in with this comedy stuff, man. That's just like, I've never seen anything like it. Like your karaoke stuff. The karaoke thing is what intrigued me in the first place, where I was like, who is this guy? And like, I think it was the Superman song. That was the first one that I ever saw. And I was like, I didn't like, I watched it probably 10 times, and I'm just like, my mouth is open and I'm like crying. I'm like, what is this guy, dude? Like, is this guy serious? Like, what in the world is this? And like the song of all songs, this song, like what in the world? And it was just like, it was so good. It was so, it's so out there, and it's so dope. I love it. That's all I could say. But then it's funny because like when I think when people, I think this is gonna probably go away sooner or later, because people are starting to see your other stuff, like you mentioned, your vlog, and then also just seeing you do normal drum videos where you can actually play. It's not just a novelty thing. But at first I was like, I think this guy is like, I could tell he's a real drummer. I can tell he can play, but I couldn't put it together, But what I'm saying is, I think that's really cool that you have that end, like this character, that you do, that is hilarious. But now people are starting to see that, like, dude, you're actually a hireable drummer. You're a normal guy, like,
yeah.
Like
I think that's the thing too, is, for me, it was like, it started off as a normal, serious drummer. Mm-hmm. That was the thing, right? Like, I started doing, I put that in my Instagram bio because it's, I don't know, some sort of an accolade or something. But like, I've been fortunate enough to find studio work from the normal serious drum videos I do. And, I've done like 3 shows of the background music for 3 Disney shows. And
see, that's real. I knew it.
3 or 4. Yeah.
That's
like that
so
kind
cool.
of thing. And like I worked on the demo for a song on what is that? The Greatest Showman. I worked on that song that just won the Grammy. I mean, wow. I don't get a Grammy because I just worked on the demo or whatever. But it's like really cool to know that like my work can be serious and like something can come of it. And that I think that's the thing, that not only does it feel good to be able to say that, but it feels good to like feel like I don't know, like this. It's an affirmation to myself that I'm not just a silly guy. I'm not just Joe Schmo. Like I've got a real gift here, and that really feels good.
Yeah. Well, I think that at first it throws people off a little bit because everybody expects your character to be you, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah. I mean that like when we met you, I was like, oh. Like, okay, like now it's even better. Like, it's like, yeah, it's cool. And so I think somebody else was saying that, like, yeah, we met Tim, man, and he was like totally normal. I was like, yeah, he's like, I'm like, yeah, but a lot of people.
I'll put my phone number in my stories sometimes, and I will get people that will call, and I'm just like, because it's just random. It's basically like a hotline. Anyone wants to call me can call me. Uh-huh. And people sometimes will call more than once. This has happened, and I'll say hello in my normal voice, and it'll be silent. And I'll say hello. Is anybody there? And then they'll say, is this Tim? Is that your normal voice? It's like people expect me to be like, hello, this is the Timbo Hotline. We're here to talk about life and cheese cheese and the beer and the sausage. Like what? If that was a real person, they should probably be locked up. All right, let's be real.
Dude, it's so good though. It's so good. I love it. It's so funny. It's like the funniest thing too is like I love. So first of all, your edits on your Instagram are amazing.
They're so good.
Amazing, dude. Like it makes it so much funnier. Like the zoom in to your face. Like the zoom
digital zoom.
Dude, the zoom.
It's so great. And like your one-liners, like the grandma she can't eat candy because she's diabetic, but then she eats it, and the last line is, "That's pretty good." It's so funny, dude. So yeah, it's stuff like that where I'm like, dude, this is not by accident. This is super solid and really funny, and like I've never seen anybody, especially in our community, people take themselves so serious.
Yeah.
And this is what Phil and I always talk about.
Dude, it's my favorite thing on Instagram.
Yeah.
I already watched the one where you're just playing snare drums. It's so good.
It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's great, man. It's great.
But I think that's the thing. So many people take this so seriously. There's 1,000 drummers out there posting videos of like, here's a chop.
Yeah.
Here's here's just a totally insane 1 minute of shred. And I think that's important because we can push the craft forward if we all continue to focus on those sorts of things. But I think it's even, in my opinion, more important to take a step back and to laugh and remember that this is just like, we're just playing drums. We're not saving the world here. You know what I mean? Like,
it's exactly that's what me and Phil are always saying. I went on this rant about NAMM show and like how many people are so serious, and it's like, man, I'm just here to hang out with the homies and like see some cool stuff, and like, dude, we're just drummers, man. That's like, it should be just that. Like,
it's the instrument of cavemen.
Exactly.
Seriously, dude. Like.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So
I get it, dude.
So you're out there in Portland. So you mentioned that you recently had a career change. So you just quit your job and you went full time being a drummer and doing you.
I think it's I think it's a lot more than that too, because it's like, I mean, okay, so I worked in corporate America for like 5.5 years, and I think the only other podcast I did, Seamus's Drum Gap podcast a couple years ago, and that might give a little context too, because it's like, at that point in my life, it was, it was tough because I was going through a winter where I was working extremely long. I mean, we're talking 60+ hours, 6-day work weeks, and that was like a 6-month period. I was doing
gosh.
that. And I was right in the midst of that, so that was really, really, really tough. And going through that, it was just like, I'm still trying to make drums a part of my life, but it's okay that it's just part of the mix. And moving forward and out of that period of extreme stress, it was like, my thoughts went to that this was the time that I needed to make my escape plan. I needed to escape, and I needed to build a new life. So by May of last year, the first big like eureka moment was then. And I sat down, I wrote a letter to Jose at Revival just saying like, dude, I had been meditating on the idea for a while and thinking about it and just trying to find clarity and how do I move forward? What do I do? And wrote this letter to Jose and saying, I'm gonna do it. End of the year, that's it, and I'm moving forward.
Wow.
And that was it. So it started there. The middle of that month, I went to the Chicago Drum Show. I mean, we're talking the middle of May last year, and I asked Jeremy and Chris from Lowboy Beaters. I said, guys, I'm quitting my job at the end of the year, and the kickoff to this new thing of whatever I'm gonna do is I want to go to NAMM and I want to make silly videos and hang out. and I was like, can you guys get me a pass? And in May, like more than 6 months beforehand, they were like, yes, that's what we're doing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And that's what you did.
There. I did it, man.
So
I
great.
think so many people want to do this. In the last 2 weeks, I mean, normal people, right? Normal, non-musicians, non-creatives even.
Mm-hmm.
When in the last 2 weeks of my work, I had so many people come to my cube and they're like, this is so cool. Like, I wish I could do something like this. And I think that a lot of people everywhere share that. I mean, even when I've been driving around and talking to people in different towns, like it resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I feel so fortunate to have been able to make that pipe dream that so many people have a reality. And I don't know, I'm just glad that it like pumps people up, and I'm glad that personally that I do get to build this new life. And so I don't know, man. I feel really blessed to
dude, you're
just be
like
here doing this.
It's like just from like our community and from the Drum Brigade, like what we do, like it's like, dude, we're so stoked for you. That's like, I mean, that's all I could say is like, it's like we've all gone through that too. Like I went through the same thing. I used to be in construction and I used to do flooring for like 15 years and hated my life and somehow intermingled touring with that. And like one day I was just like, dude, this sucks. Like, what am I doing this for? I'm wasting my life. And I'm like, if I worked as hard as I do for this stupid nowhere job, going nowhere job as I do for what I love, like if I worked as hard for that as I do for this, I think I could make it work. And it took jumping off, the bridge or whatever and making it happen. And it always works out, man. It's like,
people don't want to make the jump. And dude, going into this, I worked at a big corporation. So of course there's always talk of, let's talk about the economy and what's the outlook 1, 5, and 10 years from now. And, like talking about this stuff with these dudes, it's like, I knew leaving early this year that the next few years we're going to have a recession in the U.S. and it's probably going to hit pretty hard. So like, I don't know. I mean, I had stuff like that on my mind, and just the general thought of, what if nothing happens? What if nothing, breaks in a good way, and that I don't, create a career? But I don't know. But if you don't take that initial jump like you did or like I did, you're never going to know. And then what happens when you're like, 60, 70, 80 years old,
right?
And you're sitting there with regret because you can't start you could start a career at 60, I'll be real, but like 70, 80, what the heck are you going to do at that age?
Yeah. No, and you got to live like, without regrets. If this is what you know and love and this is your passion, you should be able to, like, it's a very old school way of thinking. Like my parents think that you're not supposed to enjoy your work. You're supposed to work and it's supposed to be hard and you're supposed to hate it and you're going to make a living and that's what you're supposed to do for your family. And I'm always like, no, man, like I want to enjoy what I do for work. I did work that I didn't enjoy for many years and I have to work hard to make a living as a musician. But like people are so crazy. Like people just don't think that you can do that. They're like, yeah, but what's your real job? And I'm like, that's my real job, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
So, man,
and dude, it's the same thing over here in the Midwest, though. I mean, just to touch on this quickly is a very similar point is, man, right before I left, I sat down with my grandparents and I kept feeling like I needed to get some sort of, I don't know, approval from them or something. Cause I'm very tight with my family. I've always been tight. Our whole extended family has been in the same town in Wisconsin, Kenosha, for like 100, 125 years. Like it's just forever. Right. Mm-hmm. And, for me to just leave and pick up roots, and I don't know, I felt like I owed them something and I just wanted to leave with their approval. And I sat down with them, and my grandma left me with a similar sentiment to what you're talking about. She told me when we were growing up, we were told, you get your high school diploma, you go work, and you die.
Wow.
And
ouch.
So that was rough. And she's like, it's a different world and I don't understand it, but you do. So, go do it.
Yeah.
And that was just like having that permission is just so, man, that was powerful too.
Well, the thing is too, that like I had to realize is, man, if this doesn't work out, like I'll find my way, like I'll do something else, but like it's going to work out. Like whatever it's like you're a dude that has his head on straight, like, you know what you're doing. You're not like a drug addict or some crazy. You're not in it for the wrong reasons. You're not in it for the chicks or like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's so there's a difference between, people like that, like a person like you who has a plan and who has things in the works and having some success with things. And, it's dope. I mean, it's like, how can this not work out? If you got a job and applied the same thing, it's the same kind of situation where it's going to work out, So, man, congratulations on that. We're like I said, man, we're really stoked for you. And I have no doubt that this is going to work out for you. It already is, and like,
for sure,
you got some good things going on, and your social media is like what kills us, man. It's so great. It's so,
and dude, the fun won't go away completely. I just need to dial it back a little bit so that I'm not dressing up like Grandma Timbo every 48 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. That would be the hard part for me. My thing is like this dude that always rants all the time, and and then I'm like, but I don't want people to not hire me because they think I just rant all the time on, because they hear my show, and so it's like, I have to dial it back and be like, no, I can be really positive. Trust me,
Yeah. I'm not angry all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Well, anyways, man, let's transition into some more lighthearted topics.
Please.
And, we'll talk more about your other stuff after we do this transition.
Drum Brigade Podcast.
Oh yeah. All right. I got a topic of the day, and I got a soapbox.
Right.
I got a soapbox and a topic of the day. Which one do you guys want to do?
Soapbox.
Here we go.
Let's live it.
I ain't trying to hear that right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Tim, that's me playing everything. Singing, playing drums, playing bass, and guitar.
Dude, it's so punk rock. I love it, dude. I love it.
Okay, my soapbox of the day. I know this has happened to you guys all the time. Okay, so every Wednesday I play a residency gig in La Jolla. And it's a small room. It's like kind of a jazzy gig, like a lounge kind of thing. People walk up the stairs and then they walk right past my back into like to their tables and stuff. So we're kind of exposed. Every single stinking time people walk by my drums, they touch my ride cymbal.
Ew.
They tap on my ride cymbal. Dude! Every single time. I get so
they
mad.
just want to feel it, dude. They want to feel it.
I got a special dry ride, 21-inch ride that is like on the thing. So we take a break. I walk away from the drums. I go sit down at a table, talk to somebody or hang out, whatever, get on my phone, whatever. And I watch people walk by, even the waiters walk by, tap on my cymbal. And I'm like, dude, stop touching my cymbal. Stop.
See, the problem is you just need to bring Sabian B8 from now on.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's
Planet
the problem.
Z's. Yeah,
Planet
dude.
Z.
Dude, what is wrong with you, Zildjian? That's one of our drops. Sorry. Dude, I was angry at Zildjian one day. Sorry. So
well, hold on. I want background on that. Why is Planet Z bring out the most angry,
dude? I was so mad.
Primal scream I've ever heard in my life.
I was mad because one of my cymbals was on back order, and they
it took them like 2 months to get it to you, right?
Yeah, they were like paid for and everything, and they were just on back order, and I was waiting, and I think I had like a couple sessions where I needed these cymbals. And I kept having to borrow cymbals from like Phil, and like it was just not working out. And so one day it was like the first question. I hit the show intro, and I'm like, "It's the Drum Brigade podcast, whatever, blah blah blah." And Phil's like, "Did you get your cymbals?" And I'm like, "That's it." And I just hit the soapbox button right there. I was like, "Dude," and soapbox button ends, and I'm just like, "What is wrong with you, Zeldin?" Like super mad. I was so angry.
Yeah.
I was hoping that there was a Planet Z involved there. I was hoping, like, man, I really wanted my 18-inch Planet Z crash ride to go along with my K-Con hats and ride. You know, it just complements them
Planet
so
Z.
well. I love brass cymbals.
So anyways, dude, I have to take my ride cymbal off the stand when we go on break just so nobody walks by after they were done eating like ribs and fried chicken and friggin' like calamari, and then they decide to come over to my cymbal with greasy hands and touch my cymbal, my freaking $500 ride cymbal. They're just like, "Oh, this is here obviously for me to touch," and like put handprints all over.
Fondle.
Dude, they just want to add to the patina.
Dude,
that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to help
it.
you out. All right, you need to appreciate. Okay.
This old man comes in the other day. He's old. We're sitting across the room. I see him walk up, and he's just like ding, 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 all over, fondling my cymbals.
So he's a drummer.
And I go, I'm like,
fondle.
this old man, I'm like, "Bro, don't touch my cymbals." Literally said, "Bro, don't touch my cymbals." I'm like, "What are you doing?" And the guy's just like ignored me and didn't, like, he just was like, "I'm going to act like you didn't say that because you're obviously like not treating me with respect as an old man." But I'm like, "Don't touch my cymbals, dude. Stop touching my cymbals. Gosh."
Incredible.
And so, yeah, I get so mad where I'm like, "Dude, please, why?" And so I just have to take it off the stand. And then people are like, "You guys done?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just taking them off so you don't touch them." Like people, and then I love when people are like, "People really do that?" I'm like, "You're probably one of those people. You were thinking about it until I took it off."
Dude, I'm so glad I've never been a wedding drummer, because that's the worst. Because then they go the next step, and then you have drunk people come up on stage and they're like, "Oh my God, give me a drumstick. I want to play the crash."
I can't tell you.
I'm a drummer too.
I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me. And yes, I do weddings a lot.
Me too.
It's always the drunk guy. "Oh my gosh, can I play your drums?" Or the drunk girl. "Oh my gosh, can I play your drums?" And I'm like, "No." I always ask the same question. Like, "So are you really a drummer?" "Well, it's not that hard." And I'm like, "No, you can't play my drums." No.
Dude, you don't know. They might sound like Porcaro, all right? You might be pleasantly surprised one of these nights.
Dude, you never know. Yeah, if they really play, then I'm like, yeah, maybe you can sit in, but it's either that or it's like, "Hey, my uncle he used to be a drummer, and like he wants to play a song," and I'm always just like, no, sorry, no.
Yeah, that uncle had a CB 700 kit with several cracked cymbals.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he would only play on days when his wife was out of the house, because she would just throw the drums out if she had been there. All right, let's be real.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of people. Just stop touching my cymbals. They're not for. I obviously play my cymbals with sticks. I'm allowed to touch them. You're not.
Yeah.
Stop touching my cymbals.
All right, real talk. I got $1 million idea. All right. Here we go.
All right.
We're gonna make stencils that just, what, we can just buy "Do Not Touch" stencils, and we'll just rebrand them. We'll call them drum stencils. You get that with a spray paint. You're just gonna spray paint that on the top of your cymbal, and no one's gonna screw with your cymbals ever again.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Or
maybe
you just put, maybe we get one that says "infected with Ebola."
Oh,
and
there we go.
Touch it. That's the ticket, I think.
There we go. Maybe I'm just going to hang a sign on my cymbal that says that. Maybe we should start a cymbal company like everybody else that are called "Do Not Touch" cymbals, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're going to be
handmade
rich.
in Turkey.
I'm never going to work again.
Yes, dude. I think we have it. Like, we'll have series, "Infected with Ebola" series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so
we'll make a stinky Limburger cheese scented cymbal. I mean, the possibilities are endless, guys.
Dude, I'm so down with this. All right, that's been my soapbox.
I ain't trying to hear that right now.
Oh man,
That was a good one.
that was a good one. That was
good.
I hate that so much. I hate that so much,
That's
dude.
funny. That doesn't bother me that much.
Bro.
I mean, it's kind of annoying, but I
That's
don't really
just
care
so
that much about my
disrespectful.
cymbals, I guess.
I've had little kids come up and just be like, "Oh, drums. Obviously, I'm going to just grab your sticks and start playing." And I'm like,
I think with kids, it's the worst. I mean, because you want to be so nice because
Yeah.
they're young, but then they're like hitting your cymbal on the edge, and you're like, "That's gonna crack," and then I'm gonna be out $300, $400, $500.
Yeah.
Like, what are you? Go back and eat an orange. You know, I don't know what children do.
Exactly. I don't mind. Like, I'm always like, hey, I'm all about kids, like learning, and like, you know, I'm a teacher, and like, I love kids, you know, but don't just send your kid over to the drums and just be like, yeah, go ahead. It's like, no. Yeah, go ahead. I blame you.
Yeah, you know what? If and when I ever have children, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them walk up to the parents of those drum children. I'm going to have them walk up to those parents' cars that are running in a parking lot. And I'm going to say, yeah, you take that for a drive there, little Timmy. Hey, just do what you're going to do. I don't care. Not my car, not my problem. You know?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. God. Yes.
Yeah.
Stop touching people's stuff.
What do we got?
Next segment, we are going to go into the question of the day, and then we're going into the Wheel of Death. Question of the day, here we go.
Drum Brigade Podcast.
All right, Timbo, Funky Phil, question of the day topic of the day, what's in your stick bag? What do you guys carry in your stick bag? Okay, obviously we know we got sticks, right? I hope.
Well, sometimes I might put my socks in there. You don't know.
Dude. Okay, so I always carry a few things in my stick bag. Always. No matter what. I always carry, obviously, my drumsticks, obviously some dampeners. I carry True Tones. I like True Tones the best. They're like moon gels, but better. Yeah. In my opinion. I carry... Here's what my question is pertaining to, because I carry some extra things. So I carry some extra foam, felts, extra felts, extra wing nuts for cymbals. I carry an extra clutch, hi-hat clutch.
Yeah.
And I carry my in-ears and an extension cable. And I have some Drum Brigade knickknacks, like some stickers and some... info on Drum Brigade. So because if I do like a one-off gig or like a, you know, or a backline gig or a fly-out date or something, I want to make sure that I have, like I was just in Vegas last weekend. They set up the backline kit, no cymbal felts, no wing nuts.
That's tight.
Dude, I'm like, and the other drummer that was opening didn't have any of that stuff, you know? And so I'm like, I got you, dude. Just let me freaking handle it. So, and then, of course, the obvious stuff, like a couple keys.
Yeah.
I carry some gum and some refreshments, some mints.
I didn't think about bringing food.
It's like a drummer's purse.
I'm gonna throw a banana in there, and then I'll find it in 6 months. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So, what is your guys' move? What do you carry in your stick bag? That is like, what do you guys got?
Funky Phil, you gig more than me. I just live in my car, so I have stuff in my stick bag. But Phil, what do you like? You gig a lot. I mean, what do you? And you travel too. I mean, so like, what do you tend to do?
I've a lot of the same stuff Corey just mentioned, you know, like keys, all the obvious stuff. I will usually have those, I don't know what they're called, the plastic dingus that your felt sits on.
Yes, I have a couple of those.
Wow, the dingus.
Yes, I definitely have some of those, because usually when there's no felts, there's no dingus.
I call them a sheath. I don't like the word, because I think like cod piece, you know, but like... a cymbal sheath. Yeah.
What did you call it? A dingus is a total Timbo word, dude.
Plastic dingus.
I mean, we know where my sense of humor comes from. I'm Tim and Eric and Steve Brule all day long.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
the sheaths are a good one, because that's so bad. I mean, that's I don't even use wing nuts anymore, just because after moving into doing so much studio work, it was just like, well, I'm going to be swapping cymbals anyway, and I don't hit hard enough where they're like flying off the stand or anything. So, but yeah, sheaths and felts are so important.
I feel like that's overlooked by a lot of like gigging drummers. Like,
yeah,
man,
I saw something online one time, and it was so good. It was just, I think it was a tech had put out like, here's what I put in my tour bag. And it was just like, oh, and it was like some of those obvious things that we don't even think about. But I mean, dude, I'm the same way though. I think there's so much of it is just universal, right? I mean, I keep regardless, I'll try to keep a couple different pairs of brushes and that kind of thing around, and textural kind of stick alternatives. But yeah, sticks. Clutch is the big one, man, just because you never know.
I got stranded a couple weeks ago for not having.
I saw that, dude. I was like, dude, oh no,
so mad because that gig. I go into that gig knowing what I need exactly because I play it every week. So I have a little miniature stick bag that I bring that doesn't have any of my usual stuff. It's just the sticks I need for that gig, and it has a key now, but I don't have a clutch. And I was like, might be stranded someday, and it happened.
Yeah, and that's the way.
Yeah.
I don't think I put anything funky in there. I might put my dampeners are different. They're a little bigger, so I have a little separate bag for them. But I use all that tackle stuff, so
cool.
It's nice. Like, you have a stick bag, and then I got this little accessory pouch that's just big enough. I use Snare Weights. I like the M80s a lot. For live use, because they tend to just, like, if I want that fatty fat tom sound, I'll use, one on the rack, couple on the floor, that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of what else I put in there that's like, I've got some knickknacks and stuff. I do keep, I try to keep like some different historical pieces since I'm traveling with me. I mean, it's just to like almost like feel like I'm at home still. So like I have one of Buddy Rich's cymbals, and then I have, and it's like kind of like a crotale, which is like a bell almost. And I have a what's that other thing? So before people used drum rugs, there's this thing you could put in front of your bass drum that basically is like a screw with a huge, it looks like brass knuckles with a screw on the end, and you'd screw the screw into the wood stage and put your bass drum in front of that so it wouldn't move. Okay. And I have one of those that belonged to Barrett Deems.
Whoa.
That was used when he played with Louis Armstrong back in the day. So like, I mean, obviously these aren't functional things. I'm not going to screw the freaking anchor into the stage or anything.
I was going to
say. But, I think for me, it's just, in addition to the utilitarian things, being away from home for so long, it's just nice to have something that reminds me of that.
Yeah. That's what it's all, that's the same like reasoning behind like having some felts, having some whatever, like dampeners, having a clutch, like having stuff in there that's going to make me like anything I know that is going to make me have a normal gig rather than like, if this is actual, like absolutely worst case scenario, like then I know I can get through, so, that's cool. Yeah. All right. So that's the question of the day. Hold on. Gosh, don't tell everybody how janky our show is, man.
Listen, I need professionalism here, guys.
All right, let's transition into the Wheel of Death. Oh my gosh.
Random questionerator.
Drum Brigade Podcast.
All right. These are like rapid fire questions. They're not, we don't need to get, I don't
Listen,
know.
if that Mrs. Doubtfire question comes up again, because no one likes Jumanji, all right? Robin Williams is a god, and Mrs. Doubtfire is the Bible. All right, let's do it.
That needs to be a drop on our show, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. This is the funniest thing is I am not a fan of Robin Williams, dude.
Yeah, that's that's where that question came from.
I know, but I did like Mrs. Doubtfire when I was younger. I hated Jumanji.
It's a great movie. Oh yeah, Jumanji sucks.
All right, let's get on. Let's do this. Here we go. boy.
Yeah, Alex, I'm going to take cheese and wine for 600, please.
All right. Well, speaking of which, you're about to be executed. What's your last meal?
It's not going to be cheese. I'll tell you what. I've been trying to eat plant-based now for a while.
Yeah, you and us both, man. Me and Phil are both vegetarians.
If I was on death row, I would want a sausage deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's in Chicago.
Whoa.
If you don't get down with Lou Malnati's, you can go home. That's all I got to say about that.
That's my same. It's not from that place, but I've been a vegetarian for 6 years and vegan for a year until now. But
good for you.
My last meal would be a New York pepperoni pizza. I'm going out eating meat, dude.
Live life
or go home.
Funky Phil, what do you got?
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking a chicken parm with hots from Philadelphia.
Dang, we're all eating meat. None of us eat meat now, but we're all eating meat, dude, for our last meal.
I guess that says where our minds are. You know?
That's crazy. I think I'm still sticking with my New York pizza, man. But I want one of those super giant, 30-inch pizzas. Yeah. That's all mine. Yeah. I'm eating it all, and I'm not feeling bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
well, you're gonna die. So
yeah, what do I care?
If you can eat a whole pizza, who cares? You're not going to deal with the food coma for the next 72 hours.
Exactly. I'm going for it, and I can. I love pizza so much. That's all I can say.
So good.
All right, here we go. All right, hold on. I got to do another. Oh man, this is an all right one. You might not like these bands, but we got Radiohead or Oasis. Yeah.
Oh, man. I like Oasis because the brothers hate them each other and the world so much. It's like Liam Gallagher is so funny to me as a human being, but musically, I was just listening to some Radiohead the other day. What's that album? Jimmy's Computer, and that's the real name. Don't worry about it. But I was listening. They recently, what is it? OK Computer. They remastered that like a year or two ago, and listening to the remaster is just like, it's so good, and
great.
The songwriting and even the original production that still shines through is just like, everything about their music is, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I love both bands, but I have to go with Radiohead. I just love Radiohead. I love the fighting between the brothers, though. It's so great.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So funny.
It's so funny.
The things they say. Oh.
Yeah, it's great. Funky Phil.
Yeah, I'd say Radiohead. I absolutely hate Oasis. So
really?
It's an easy one.
Wow. I love them both.
I hate their songs. They make me puke in my mouth.
You don't want to live in a champagne supernova. Come on, baby.
Oh man. All right. Timbo, what's your Mount Rushmore of drummers?
Oh boy.
We're going to be here for several hours. No, you know what? I think, personally, it's going to be people you probably never heard of. So it's like numero uno, my George Washington is going to be Jason Tate, who was the drummer for the Weaker Thans, which they were on Hopeless Records back in the day. And, favorite drummer of all time. He has been the dude to influence my voice the most.
Nice.
If there's going to be the Universal, I'm going to probably say Bonham, obviously, because let's talk about a dude who took drumming, and it's just as impressive to non-musicians as it is to musicians and drummers specifically. Mm-hmm. So it's like that palatable nature to his drumming. Other than that, there's got to be a funk drummer. Like, I don't even know. Well, I mean, who else would you put on? I know a funk drummer's got to be on there, and I'm thinking like, what's his face? Who lived in Madison? Funky drummer.
Oh.
What's his face? He passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Funky Phil, who's the funky drummer?
I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Funky's in your God-given name.
I can't remember either now. I just completely drawn a very blank.
Clyde Stubblefield.
Yes, Clyde Stubblefield.
You know, and I like him because, I mean, the guy lived in Madison, Wisconsin for a while. And I mean, it's just bizarre. Like, why would he be up there? But, like, he became a part of the state, you know, kind of music scene. And obviously just as I like it because not only did it inspire drummers, but, like, those kinds of breaks. I mean, look at how that then spawned, you know, we have drum and bass, we have hip hop, we have rap, and then to bolster that culture too is just like, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's cool. Is that 4 or
and
is
then
that 3?
I'm going to be on that mountain too, just because I don't care. I don't care.
Your face.
I want to be on a mountain.
Your face on that mountain would be amazing if somehow would fit, even if with the presidents. I feel like it would be great.
Oh yeah, and I would have that goofy kissy duck face I do. Yeah, that'd be immortalized.
Amazing.
Immortalized.
So good.
Phil, what about you? Like,
yeah,
what are
what's
you
yours,
into?
Funky Phil?
Oh man, so
Phil always goes with funk.
Probably
drummers.
the very first would be Tim Baltes.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Then Corey Kingston.
Oh man, thanks, Funky Phil.
Oh wow, look at
This is why you're a true
more
drummer,
important
Corey.
than we thought.
Sorry.
Dude, that drop is so
That
loud.
drop is loud, dude. Sorry. We just got that new drop. All right, sorry. What were you saying, Tim?
Wait, Tim?
Oh, I was just saying I feel so important that both of us are on the mountain.
Yeah,
now,
crazy.
several times.
Man, yeah, you got 2 heads on the mountain.
Double the Tim, double the fun.
Yeah. Well, if I could, I would just make it entirely out of like alternate characters from the Timbo from Kino.
Yeah. Romeo's up there.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Tim, you have to
welcome
see
to hell.
Grandma Timbo,
Oh my god, dude. Oh man,
Froggy Timbo.
Wow, yeah, Froggy Timbo. I forgot about that already. Wow,
Dude.
what a costume.
oh man.
I don't know. I've got Tony Williams for sure. Zigaboo.
Yeah.
I always can't decide between Chambers and Gadd, but one of them. And Brian, I really like Brian Blade.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian Blade, dude. Yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
I go with just the most obvious drummers in the world. I feel like everybody's like, yeah, that's typical. My ultimate drummers. Like, I have a ton of drummers that I really like that are like, I consider some of my favorite drummers. Like Bill Stewart is one of my favorite drummers.
Really?
Oh yeah. And like Girgir Borlai, Virgil Donati, those are like some of my favorite technically sound, like amazing drummers. But if I'm going with my ultimate, it's the Mount Rushmore of drummers. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going with the standard. I'm going with Dennis has to be up there. Vinny has to be up there.
Dennis is an underrated drummer.
Yeah.
Can we just say that right now?
I think you're the only person that's ever said that.
Well, I mean, I just like, I don't think that people like, I still don't think he gets enough recognition because I go back to some of those videos of him playing like 20 years ago, like him at the Buddy thing, right?
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
And,
Classic.
Like just it's mind melting.
Dude.
And I think as a solo artist, I just don't think that he gets enough. He gets credit for groove, right? Because the dude can play in any song and make it sound great. But like his shredding is just so stupid. I just watch it and I'm just like, yeah, I quit. I'm done. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I mean, he completely paved the way for all the chops now, you know, that everybody that does that kind of stuff is like, yeah, Dennis is my ultimate favorite. You know, I asked a 4-year-old kid today that was playing on over the weekend that was playing on the Strip in Vegas. I asked him who his favorite drummer was, and he was like Dennis Chambers, like 100%.
4-year-old?
4-year-old, yeah, 4-year-old kid. So Dennis, Vinny is probably my ultimate. Like he's the ultimate, my ultimate favorite drummer. I don't think there's anybody that is, even till this day, Vinny is so dope. Outside of him, I feel like Tony Williams or Buddy Rich, they can share a head.
Half a face, do that two-face thing like from Batman.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then Chris Dave is on there. I just feel like he plays the drums like he can make a groove sound so good, and I don't think a lot of people copy him, but no one does it like him. He's been my favorite since I was probably 12 years old or 15 years old. He's been so that's my Mount Rushmore.
And I think that Chris is Chris, everybody talks about his voice with the lazy thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because everybody wants to do the lazy thing, but you can put him in other contexts too, and he can hold it hard.
Yeah.
And if you throw anything at him, which I also appreciate.
Man, he's like a seriously dope, straight ahead, like bebop jazz dude.
Oh, yeah, dude.
In the 90s, like when he was younger, he was doing all the gospel chop stuff before a lot of guys were doing it. Like that attack, this crazy chops, and like, he was doing that. That's why I was like, I never heard anybody play like that. And now it's all about that lazy drunk beat thing that like everybody copies, but
everybody does it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's true.
Do I sound a little apathetic to that whole freaking movement?
You sound the way
like
we all feel.
Diluted.
Yeah.
It's been diluted. Like now everybody does it, and it's like, all right, can we just get back to? Let's move it forward. Yeah. Chris did the thing. The thing is cool. Let him do the thing.
Right.
Why don't you do something in your own voice?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, I probably sound like a jerk saying that.
No. That's how I feel too. And that's the thing though that I love about Chris, and like I love about a lot of drummers, is that he's kind of an innovator, where he'll do something and everybody like he was doing the snare drum set, and now you see Ron Bruner and all these guys are just like copying him. Or I'm like, dude, why don't you guys come up with something?
See, but all right, Bruner, I think is a different thing. I mean, him and his brother isn't that his brother is Thundercat?
Yeah, his brother. Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. Their parents must have been like, I don't know.
His dad's a drummer too.
Like, why? Come on. Can you give some talent to the rest of us, for crying out loud?
I know.
I like Bruner's voice though, because I think his shines through, because I've seen him play with a couple different acts just online. It's just like, I think he's one of those dudes who will be much more appreciated by kids, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Yeah, probably.
I hope he is.
Yeah. I think so too. I have a lot of opinions about him that I won't say on the air, but I have a lot of, not regarding his playing. You can't contest his playing. His playing is amazing. But yeah, he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of new cats that I like too, like Justin Brown is blowing my mind.
Oh yeah.
Mike Mitchell is blowing my mind, and I don't really prefer a lot of gospel chop guys, but those are two guys that are just second to none. They're killing it right now. So, all right, I got one more question for us all. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I think this like it's too long.
It's pretty long. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I feel like, you know what? I used to watch I watched Jeopardy, and I would watch Wheel of Fortune. The reason why is because I was 27.8 going on 93. But that sounds literally like Jeopardy meets Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, exactly. Our wheel looks like it's digital, but it looks like a Wheel of Fortune wheel too. It has all our questions on it. Okay, our question is: snap your fingers. You're no longer a drummer. What career? Like, you're not allowed to be a drummer at all. What would your career be? Like, you don't even know drums. You never even played drums. You've never heard of drums. You're just Tim Baltes, the blank. What's your career?
I'd probably be doing social media management, or you know what I'd probably be is I would be writing books too. All of those things, both of those things.
So
because I enjoy them. That's the kind of thing that I think a lot of drummers now, it is hard to do it full time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling that I'm going to probably employ some of those other skills to bolster my income.
Yeah.
And because both of them are location independent, right? You know, like I think a lot of other drummers will do lighting design work, you know, and they'll do a work on a show or a tour while they're on tour with another group. I met one guy one time who was on tour with a band, and in the van he was working on the soundtrack to a Lifetime movie while they were on the road. Like, yeah, you know, so I think that's the kind of thing is, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting tangential with this whole thing, but it's like, yeah, I think that we have these other skills. All of us have these other skills and things that we enjoy. And, yeah, those are the two for me.
These
Social
days,
media and writing.
I think that's how you have to do it these days. You know, you have to incorporate those other skills into what we do, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that's cool. Funky Phil, what would you be?
Oh, crap.
Bodybuilder, huh? I knew it.
Yeah,
dude.
just get swole.
Oh my God.
No, definitely not that. I think I'm still going to be a chef.
Oh yeah,
just cook food. I love cooking.
I forgot
food.
you said that.
Yeah. I love cooking food.
Man, mine is really not expected. I've said this before on the show, but I love this question because it always, you find out that like outside of being a drummer, we know each other by being drummers, but then it's like, oh man, that's what you would do? That's great. I would have never guessed that. Okay, so my job, if I was going to choose a career that I thought I would have been a pro BMX like champion or a motocross or supercross champion. Yeah. Yeah, wow. For sure.
Motorcycle.
I know
wild.
It sounds so
Dirt
weird
bikes.
and it's like, really? That's what Corey would be into? But yeah, 100%. Dude, I was going hard for BMX when I was a kid and my dad wouldn't let me race. And I loved it as much as I love drumming. And then I got into motocross and I shattered my bass drum foot and I gave it up. So
well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, at least on the bright side, I mean, look at the life you built in lieu of that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I miss motorcycles, but I don't miss getting hurt. So I love drums. But I've played
I've been there.
Yeah. So. I've played drums for my whole life. So it's like that was my first love anyways, like all along. So, you know, that was that. Man, that was a fun segment. All right, so let's transition. Let's wrap this thing up, and we'll holler at Tim for a few more minutes, and then we'll get out of this thing.
Got the slow jam. I'm digging it. We're living life. Back in my car, and I'm
Oh man. So Tim, nah, this is so loud. I'm shouting right now.
Drum Brigade.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Tim, tell us about your vlog, how people can check all this stuff out, and your social media handle and all that stuff. What's next for you? Like, let's touch on all that before we wrap up.
For sure. Well, first of all, I want to thank both of you guys for having me on here and for taking the time to hang out at NAMM. This has been so much fun getting to know you guys, and just to see you guys growing and building this thing, I think is great.
Man, thank you.
I'm going to be moving forward with a couple of things. So what's up next for me is I have my Instagram is the best place to find me. Timbo from Keno, Timbo From Keno, Keno.
Nice.
And you can get my YouTube link from there and all that sort of thing. The whole big next project is called Drum Nomad. And the idea is I am going to start hanging out with drummers and having conversations and doing video and audio. And I'm going to be creating podcasts and YouTube videos and Instagram videos. And the idea is to start creating more conversations around the mindful end of drumming, the philosophy end of drumming.
Cool.
And so that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be driving around the country, this spring is going to be Oregon, Washington, California, down through the Southeast, and then back home through Chicago and Wisconsin. Be hitting Minnesota, Canada, the East Coast, and the Southeast of the U.S. through the end of the year. So it's going to be a lot of travel, a lot of videos, and a lot of great conversations. So if you're into keeping up with that and watching me go crazy living in my car, then check out my Instagram.
That is amazing, dude.
that sounds so awesome. Cool.
Man, can you take us with you? Like, we kind of need this, dude. You know, like.
You know what? We're going to hitch a trailer on the Honda Fit, and we're going to have a little party bus. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, when you come to California, man, please hit us up. We want to shed. We want to hang. We want to have you in studio, like the whole nine, dude. We want to do it all. We want our life surrounded around Timbo, dude.
That sounds great. Awesome, man.
There's a lot of great drummers out here in San Diego too, man.
Goodness. Yeah, we'll have to have a little round table or something. That'd be super fun.
That'd be dope. Dude, what if we did a simultaneous dual podcast?
The Nomad Brigade.
Oh my gosh. Where you're rolling and we're rolling, and it's both of our podcasts at the same time. Dude,
our powers combined, it's going to be like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and we're going to turn into a large Stegosaurus.
Dude, it's going to be nuts.
Yes.
Oh man, that's dope. No, man, that's really cool. You're doing that. Like, I can't say that enough. It's just so cool. Like, that you're just going for it and you're doing it and you're keeping our community alive in like a really cool, unique way. It's like kind of like the same idea, you know, that we're trying to do too. We're trying to keep our community alive and give back to our community, and do it in a way that a real drummer, like a real dude would do it, not like superficial, like, you know.
Seriously. And that's what I appreciate about the interviews you have. It's, you know, it was like I was listening to the one with Davey. Was that the dude who was that was Wednesday or whatever? So it's like, you know, you hear these interviews, and I love the fact that these kinds of conversations don't just revolve around drumming. It's about general life topics like work ethic. You know what I mean? And I think those are the types of conversations that we can have on a general level that can hit deeper with drummers. So yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I appreciate your support. And the Nomad Brigade podcast is definitely going to happen.
I love it. Yes. Dude, Tim, man, thank you so much for coming on. We're so stoked to finally like have you on and doing this thing. Please come on again. Let's not be like strangers, you know, like let's our show is set up to not be like a one-time hit what's your history thing. It's set up to be like you can come on anytime and have the same, we can play the Wheel of Death and it'll be awesome.
I love it. Yeah, we're going to Wheel of Death it every day until I die. So awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Drum Brigade.
Timbo from Keno. Woo. Dude, that dude is so dope. Gosh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's solid, dude. And he rips, man. He's so good at drums. He's
just like, I've never met a guy that like has it so together as far as like what you're supposed to do on social media, and then like like we said in his interview, he's just a good dude, man. He's a great drummer. He's a great like internet personality. He sounds like he's got some awesome things in the works. I really wish that we could work together with him, like on something, like some kind of collaboration or some kind of show collaboration or something. So maybe we'll have to run that by him and see what we can do. Somehow I feel like Tim is so Drum Brigade, you know, like he's a normal dude that like has a personality and has a product, you know, basically him. I feel like that just is exactly what it's the same thing that we are, you know, like it's the same thing that all of our homies are that are part of the brigade. And I feel like, he's so like the type of dudes that we're always looking for to be like, yo, like, what's up? Here's the Brigade, like, you know, the Brotherhood of Drums or whatever. He's like the guy that we're always looking for in that aspect, you know?
Totally.
So, man, keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing, Tim. You're freaking killing it, man. And, yeah, we're on choo choo. We're on the Timbo train, dude.
You're a legend.
I gotta lower these things here. Let me try that again.
You're a legend.
There we go.
This is why you're a true drummer, Corey.
This fool sucks.
All right, we got it. We got it dialed. Anyways, Tim, like we said, man, I hope we can chat with you in the near future, because that was a great interview. And dude, like a dude that is straight up right up our alley on like as far as what the Brigade is. So dope. Funky Phil, what's next for you? Like, what are you doing today? You got to babysit kids or what?
Yeah. Gonna go hang out with the baby.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I wish I was
shit.
hanging out with babies. I gotta go and play a gig right now.
Oh, with the Marcel?
No, with the Schmucky Metals.
Oh, that's right. Showcase night.
Yeah. So I gotta go ride my bike to go to my car because my wife doesn't have a car because she.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, this is a quick one.
Right now.
I'm trying to wrap up the show, but this is just...
Got to get this off your chest.
Listen, man, I love my wife. She's beautiful, and she's great at everything that she does. But she's not great at driving, dude. She's not great at driving. She would be so mad at me saying this, having a soapbox.
Does she listen to the show?
I like to think that she doesn't. So my wife is amazing, and I love her, but she's not good at driving. I don't love her driving, dude. She was backing out of like an apartment complex like a month ago, and just completely took out her door and her mirror on a pole.
Oh.
Now, it's not like I haven't done that before.
Was her door open?
No, it was closed, but she just didn't see it.
Oh. Sometimes those poles are low and you can't see them.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about it. Her whole door is jacked. So it's in the body shop for probably the 5th time, 4th time, 3rd time maybe. She's getting her car door fixed, and these fools at the body shop are taking forever. So we've had one car for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Man.
Or this is the 3rd week, I think. And so I have to drop her off at work every day, and then I have to pick her up from work, or she has to take the bus. Well, today she thought her car would be done, and she didn't have enough time to take the bus. So she took my car, which hopefully it made it in one piece, Phil. Okay? Because Lord knows she could be a better driver. So I have to ride my bike to her job to get my car. I have to come home, unload my drums, and then dip out to my gig. Hopefully I can do this all in enough time. So I got to really dip out quickly. So that's a quick soapbox about my wife and her driving skills.
I ain't trying to hear that right now.
So yeah, it sucks having one car, dude.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know what we would do.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. And like, there's been a couple gigs I've been late because she doesn't get out of work until 5. And so I'm like, yeah, but I have to be there at like 6, and it's downtown, and there's a lot of traffic, and it's been a mess. I cannot wait for her car to be done. I can't wait. I can't wait. And let me tell you, if there's any place that we're going together, we always fight like, no, let's take your car. No, let's take your car. No, let's take your car. We're taking her car because I've been driving nothing but my car for the past couple weeks. All right. Funky Phil.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing show. What? I'm playing the wrong music.
You're wrapping me up?
I'm wrapping myself up. All right. Now, it's been a great show.
Yeah.
It's still a little janky, but we got this. Funky Phil, thank you for producing the show and co-hosting. Thanks to Timbo for coming on. What a great interview. And we got show number 29 coming up next week. Oh, man. Oh, man. Drum Brigade podcast. Oh, yeah. Hey, make sure you guys leave a review for us on any of the platforms and win something cool. Win something cool. Yeah. Okay, win something cool. Let me just mention these guys. Win something cool from Drum Brigade, Haram, Aquarian, Big Bang, Booty Shakers, and Brixton. Oh, yeah. And if you're not going to win, just go support those companies anyway. All right, it's the Drum Brigade podcast. Drum Brigade.